All right. Hey, everybody. It is our Wildtree 2.0, back to the basics kind of business. It's the 8th. Oh, my goodness. It's June 8th already, and we are here for our leadership call number 2. Tonight's schedule is kind of going to look like this. It's going to be a review of last week quick. It's going to be a quick walkthrough on some vision topics. Your first homework assignment that I'm going to be giving you this week is going to be a video you'll watch, and I'll share it in the group after the call tonight, so if you want to write that down. I always say grab a sheet of paper and a pen so you can take some notes if you want to. But then we'll focus the end of the call, making sure you're all feeling good about where your calendars are at, if you need some specific words to say to people, kind of what's holding you back, if anything, etc. And in there, when we talk about vision a little bit, it's important that you guys understand what leadership entails, both the requirements, but also the benefits and blessings. I'm going to cover that too. But really quick, I want everyone to take 60 seconds, say your name, because Brooke wasn't on the call last time, and it's good for everybody to keep saying their name until we all get down. So say your name. We'll take a turn for everyone, and then the best thing on in your life right now and the best thing in your business. So you have a minute or two to share who you are, best thing going on in your life, and best thing going on in your business. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go. My name is Ashley Cool. The best thing that's going on in my life right now is just summer. It's amazing. This weather is amazing. Time to spend with family and friends. We have a lot of cool family events coming up. It's my husband and I's 1-year anniversary coming up in a couple of weeks. So we're excited to actually go back up to the resort that we got married. Spend it there. So, and then as far as my business, I'm just getting pumped up in June because I just had a host who actually got the $200 in host credits, and super pumped for her. And I'm just actually working on getting another host to get up to that 100 credits at least for June. So I'm setting goals for her and getting excited about it. So that's me.
That's very cool. Thank you for sharing. Okay, who's next? Name, best thing in your life, best thing in your business. Don't all go at one time.
I'll go. So I'm Danny. I guess best thing in my business right now, I just had a vendor event yesterday, and it went fantastic. I talked to a lot of people, had a couple cash and carry items, I had a good size order, and just made contacts. So I was really excited about that. Handed out some catalogs and people that were just really excited about it and either knew the product, wanted to get involved with it more or whatnot, and got a party out of it too. I'm having a 31 bag party and she's having a Wildtree party. So swapping, it worked.
Yeah, that's.
I guess best thing in life right now is just summer. I love summer. I love being able to get outside and run in the morning. It just kind of gets me back on track with everything. So a very generalized best thing, but it works.
That's perfect. Thank you, Danny. Next.
I can go next. Brooke Segerstrom on the phone. Best thing in my life right now is probably just my family and kids, even though right now my kids are sick. But it's just a little hurdle. We'll get over that. And just being summer and enjoying spending time with all of them. The best thing going on in my business right now is that I booked my first party between yesterday and today. So that was exciting. She wants to host a workshop and a tasting, so that's great. Because I know that with the two combined, she's going to get the double bonus, which is going to be awesome for her and for me too. But I'm super excited for my hostess. And got a second perspective party coming up. So just trying to seal the deal on that one. But really, I've only been taking this seriously since Sunday. And the fact that I'm seeing that putting myself out there is paying off is rewarding. So that's what I've got going on.
Awesome. Thank you. Tabitha?
I am Tabitha, and the best thing going on in my life right now is the warmer weather because I don't know, I hate cold weather because you have to wear shoes, and the least amount of times I can wear shoes, the best. But the best thing going on in my business right now is that I just did a survey for some of my family and friends, and a lot of them are responding to it. And I got a bunch of leads for parties that I didn't think were interested, and a few people that are interested in the income opportunity, even though I thought that they had other things that they were doing.
Cool. Cool. And Tara talk to you all about what she did and so I won't steal that thunder because I know that's going to be a cool topic. But Tabitha, yeah, congratulations. That's cool success. Okay, awesome. Thank you all. Okay, so you're going to mute your lines for right now until we get to the vision part. But let's just quickly chat about last week. Did anybody feel like they left the call, or if you watched the recording and took away something major, something that really helped them this week? Anybody want to share? It's okay if not, but I always want to kind of review last week. So last week we kind of just chatted through the group a little bit, talked about some helpful hints to get your month started, to front load, try to get business bucks, just smart business stuff. Did anybody take away anything that they feel like really benefited them? If not, I won't try.
I mean, like, if you don't ask, you don't know.
Awesome. So if you don't ask, it's automatically. And so I think someone else was going to talk at the same time. Who else?
I was just going to say it got me motivated in general to read people, to kind of get working on stuff and look at what was working and what wasn't. So that was just a big takeaway for me.
Changing things up. Okay. Something that I want you each to do each week is just try to find, like, if I do a call and it's repetitive to you, try to remind yourself that there's trainings that I've gone to that I've heard the same speaker say the same thing 10 times. I've heard Tanara talk. I mean, she's obviously head of the company. I've been here 3.5 years. I've been to, 10 trainings with her, and similar things she says each time. But man, this last time, I just must have had my ears open and my brain was ready to soak in some things. And I really feel like I took away the most ever from Sonara 2 or 3 weeks ago when I went to see her at that leader boot camp. So just be aware that sometimes you're going to hear the same thing over and over, because I hate to tell you guys this, if you don't like any repetitiveness in your life, then maybe you're going to want to bail after this call. But this is a cycle. I mean, it's a cycle of hostesses, right? Or Danny, what you did this week, meet contacts. It's a cycle. You got to meet people, put them into your business somehow, treat them well, and keep cycling, right? Like it's going to be the same stuff. Now it's different depending if you're doing online, if you're doing vendor event, if you're doing a party of some kind, if you're just meeting them and selling to them, like, family friend or a referral. It's all going to be a little different, but it's pretty much the same thing. And so the reason I say it so like nonchalantly is some of the things I might talk about now, you maybe have been here long enough that you've heard me speak a little on vision. Listen again, because if you're in this group, we all need a reminder on how important vision is. And if you haven't ever heard this, then awesome. You're going to hear some new things, hopefully. So anything else from last week that you guys had a question on or want to cover? Otherwise, I'm going to go right into our training for this week, because I have a lot of cool things I want to tell you about leadership. So I want to get to our training. Anybody? Okay. So I have my notes up, so I'm looking back and forth. I put my phone a little closer tonight so you guys could actually see my eyes and face and see that I'm focused. But I am going to read off a notes for a second. So, okay, this is a little open discussion. Unmute yourself as needed. Who thinks they have a strong vision here? After watching last week's call, or maybe you've been here a month, maybe you've been here 6 months, a year, who thinks they really have a strong vision or a reason or a goal for Wildtree right now? You can write talk, it doesn't matter. But who thinks that they got that down? Okay, so Ashley's saying yeah.
I mean, I think I have a strong vision, not goals, because I know what I need to do to fill my income for the fall. So I know what I need to make. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay, cool. Yep. Anybody else? That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for, Ashley. That was perfect.
I know where I want to go with it. The road there is still a little murky yet, which is one of the reasons that I'm here, is I really want to hit my goals. I want to hit those leader numbers. I want to be able to pay off student loans and, you know, do something that I love rather than something that pays the bills. So I have the vision, just the tools to get there is where I'm at.
Yep. Yeah, with the saying, okay, you don't have to, if you have anything to add, it's okay. I'm just looking to make sure. Brooke, do you feel like you have a strong vision?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to hit the ground running now that I've, you know, gotten serious about this. And it's just putting myself out there.
Okay. So what we're going to talk about a little bit tonight is a skill that I learned last year in Tahoe. And some of you probably have seen this a little bit. Some of you have not. This is going to be your video. So homework number 1, if you're taking notes, is going to be to watch a video that I shared short. It's like 3 or 4 minutes. And it's called this, maybe it's 5 or 6, but it's short. It's under 10. And it's called the Prosperity Circle. And I'm going to quickly talk about the Prosperity Circle, and then I'm going to talk about the importance of vision and goals. And then we're going to tie that back to why is leadership so awesome with Wildtree. And then the end of the call to what you were saying, Danny, how to get there, revisiting our calendars and stuff and what you can do right now to make sure you're on track to hit this goal this summer, all of you. So first off, did anybody see the video I shared Monday? It was on vision as well, but it was a different video. It was just a fun little quick video. If you didn't, that's okay. Add it to your list though to go back and watch as well. It's real short, but he did a really good job too. It was a gentleman, and I thought he did a really good job of explaining the importance of it. I'm gonna talk. I probably cut in. No, okay. So the Prosperity Circle is a way to help you set vision. So if you want to take notes, you can draw a circle on your piece of paper, and at the very top of the circle, you're gonna write down your big end goal, your big vision, what you're working towards. Everyone uses a different word. I do like the word vision. Many people, the word vision paralyzes them. They can't proceed. So maybe for you, it's long-term goal. Maybe it's just goal. Maybe it's where I'm going. I don't care. Just it's what you're working towards. Then to the right of the circle, so on a clock where the 3 would be, you are going to put there socializing your goal. And what socializing means is telling your loved ones, especially those that you're super close to, like a spouse, a significant other, your parents. This group is socializing because you know I announced it to Facebook world. I'm announcing it to our whole organization that you guys are here. Socializing is speaking it out loud and really starting to like let it live in your soul, kind of, that you're working towards this vision. Okay, so vision, socializing it. Again, you could say that differently, speaking it, making it real, whatever words you want to use. The bottom then, where the 6 would be, is going to be the action steps. It's going to be what we actually do. So Danny's point is she thinks she has the vision, and many of you are socializing it out loud. That's why you're on this call. But if you don't have the action to do it or understand what to do, you're not going to get to the last point, which is then to the furthest to the left, and that is analyzing. Every so often, you guys are lucky, you're in a leadership group, so every week, in a way, we're going to be analyzing the progress you've made. Brooke shared some awesome progress she made in a short amount of time. That's analyzing. So she took last week's video, she got her butt in gear, she told us she wanted to be here, me and her upline, Sarah. She got to work, and now she already can see results. So she walked through that circle. Now that's pretty low scale because we're talking about one party, right? She got a party book. That's amazing. What I want you guys to really think about when I do this call tonight is my end goal for this summer, this year. At least think as big as 2017. If you can think bigger than that, if you can think quitting a job, and some of you might not want to quit a job, but I'm just going to give you some ideas. Quitting a job, paying off more than $10,000 on something, saving for a down payment of a house, building a house. I'm trying to think of some other huge ones. You guys get the gist. If you can think that far, awesome. But if you can't, just make your top of your circle for now this rest of this year. 2017, what could you do with leadership and the money? We're going to socialize it on the next call. So watch the video that walks you through the circle a little bit more. You're going to do the work. That's why we're doing these calls, and we're going to be analyzing often to make sure you're on track. If Danny would have went to her event this week and it would have been a total bust, and then she would have came to me, I probably would have said, well, how many vendor events have you done? And Danny would have said 6. This was my only bad one. Everything else has been pretty successful. I've always gotten some leads. Well, then we wouldn't change anything. We would just assume that that was a flop of an event, oh well. But if Danny comes to me and says, I've done 6 and out of them only 1 had good traffic, the rest of them I hardly sold anything, I didn't meet any people, then in our analyzing stage, we need to change what Danny's doing. Either she's not finding good events, she's not saying the right things at an event to get people to come to her table, or this business just isn't meant for events in this area. And sometimes we just have to throw that out the window. So that's just an example. And Danny, none of that's real. I want to make sure I say that for whoever watches the recording, none of that is a real situation. But why I say that is that's analyzing it. It's taking what we're doing and making sure you're like, you don't spend 2 months and all of your time in one area that really didn't grow your business. We're not going to let you do that this summer. We're going to make sure each week we're staying on track. So any questions about that? It's really just setting a goal with the meaning behind it, socializing it out loud, doing the work, and then analyzing. And we call it the prosperity circle because when you walk through that constantly in your life, and the video I'm going to have you watch isn't about Wildtree. It's about a team leader in Wildtree helping her daughter get her black belt in karate and how they use the prosperity circle to accomplish that. And it's definitely going to sink in with their live example. And yes, that leader's a friend of mine. She's amazing. She's great. And she uses this all the time with her children, with her husband, with all kinds of things. So, okay. So homework number 1, watch the video and really try to marinate this week in what is your big vision. So as it starts to make sense as to what you're going for. Okay. And really quick, this might help you guys. I always forget to tell you guys a real life example. For me, when I first started, it was just to keep leader numbers because keeping leader numbers meant my paycheck always had a comma in it. And what that means is it was always $1,000 or more. Okay. So I always use the words, a leadership makes your paycheck have a comma. It's very true. And as you continue to go up the chain, the more leaders you then grow, that takes your paycheck and adds about $1,000 each leader minimum. So you can see where income can be multiplied quickly. So for me in the beginning, my long-term vision was that amount of money, $1,000 or more a month, because at that time that paid for CrossFit, which is almost $300 a month. It paid for our groceries, and it was some fun money to go on date nights. And we had a dog walker at the time, and we paid him $10 a day to walk our dog, and it paid for that bill. Sounds really stupid, but that was all luxury things. If I would have known then, P.S., I could have had a cleaning lady, I would have also made sure that was a part of my vision. I'm not kidding about that. It's nice to have a cleaning lady. I have a cleaning lady now. Because my house wouldn't get cleaned otherwise in this season, it would look like I do right now. So we can't have that. So that was my first vision. Then my second vision, when we looked at this home, it was brand new construction, was to always be bringing home over $2,000 a month. And the reason is this home was double our old mortgage. And that was a pretty big jump. And honestly, I was nervous because I knew I wasn't going to work forever in Hartford at my job. And although I made plenty of money to pay for our mortgage then, I was worried about the future. And I'm a bit of a planner where if I think I'm going to have any major financial change, I definitely don't want to take on double the mortgage. So Wildtree had to become about $2,000 a month. And for me, it was always a specific income goal. But I also would attach to the income what it was paying for. So I didn't just say $3,000 a month because in my mind, I wouldn't have been able to work at something that didn't have meaning even deeper than that. I had to know where exactly that $2,000 was going to go. And now I literally will not be satisfied with the efforts I put in unless my checks are $10,000 or more a month. Like I really feel like I'm worth that. I would want that in a corporate job at this point. So that's my next step. And then past that, you guys know my long-term is $500,000 a year. That's to be exact, 474,000 is like I don't know why, but that's just what I want to make. It sounds ridiculous, but it's so possible. And I'm going to do it. And so how you do it then is I don't just sit and tell everybody that's what I want to make someday. P.S. I don't walk into like the grocery store and tell people that that's what I want to do and like hand them business cards. Not a good plan. I think I have a visitor coming in. Oh, he put McCully to bed. I have to be quiet. He says I'm yelling. Can you still hear me? Shake your heads yes if you can still hear me. Okay, I'll talk a little quieter. Turn your volume up if you can. So anyway, I don't approach it that way, but I do tie things to it. So that large amount of money means Nate doesn't have to work any job he doesn't want to work. He can do, whatever he wants. We may or may not want a second home somewhere warm or undecided. We definitely would love a boat or a pool or a hot tub, luxury things. Who doesn't want that? You guys know about my patio. And actually my coach is making me draw up blueprints and put it on a dream board. That's part of my homework I have to have done by Monday, I don't know, a week from next Monday. But anyway, that's how serious vision is. If my coach that I'm paying for is telling me you've got to spend some time on a vision board in the next 2 weeks, like obviously vision is that important in any business, in any setting at all. So that's a little bit about that. So some people don't tie it to money though. I have friends that their vision was to retire their spouse early. And there wasn't a specific necessarily like monetary amount a month. They just knew they needed to make income to save as much as they possibly could. So every month that they put money away towards his retirement, that was time he could retire early. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's not going to be a specific monthly amount. That's just how I am very monetary driven, and it's just the nature of my personality. What else? Who else do I know has a really good vision? My friend Lisa Thomas. She's in our Facebook group. If you ever see her comment, she's a Wildtree rep in another org. She was my first pacing partner in Wildtree. I paced with her for a full year, and she saved $47,000. That was her end goal, her big vision. $47,000 a savings account, and they bought a condo on Lake County Beach, Orange County Beach. I don't know, somewhere south on the ocean. And it's beautiful, and they own it and they rent it out. And she quit her job the same month that I quit mine last year. She quit hers. And now she goes, like, she was at the beach this whole week working her Wildtree business from the condo. So that's super cool. So just want to give you some ideas, some really real ideas so you can see how vision works. Any questions about that? It's so annoying when you just want to get to work and make a lot of money fast. I do know that. I get it. Vision is the hardest topic for me. This is my packet of homework that I have to have done. It's huge. Ooh, I'm going the wrong way. It's a huge packet that I have to have done. This whole thing is on vision. Like I have to write out the 10 biggest regrets I have in my life, and then I have to cut it up with the scissors. I've got to write out like the things I'm most proud of in my life. And I'm going to be honest, that stuff makes me just want to go. Like, it's not me, but she's telling me it's so important. And I'm just telling you guys, if she thinks it's important enough to spend the whole month of June on it, I know my coach knows what she's doing. Like she's coached major NFL football players. She's coached major heads of banks and all kinds of things. So I just want to say vision is important. Okay, now why leadership? I want to read you guys a couple of things. If you know these already, you can chime in as well. But the second part of your homework is, this is so easy. Number 2, get so excited about what leadership means to your family, because this is what it means. When you promote as a leader, you get a 40% basically raise, or a 40% pay amount is what you get paid. So you get your 20% off like we do now, just like you guys all started 20%. And instead of the 9% or the 12% bonuses that you can earn now, you automatically always have 40 every single month as a leader, as long as your team is qualifying on your personal sales. Then you get 12% or 7% on your team. And this is really important, you guys. So let me find a real live example. Ashley and Danny, you're both directly under Sam. Okay, Sam's the team leader. Okay, we're going to walk through this. You two are her first line reps. That makes sense to you, right? So she earns a 12% training bonus for working with you guys, which she does an excellent job. If Danny brings in a rep, Sally, Sam makes 7% on her. Does that make sense so far? But if Sally brings in a rep, Susie, and Susie brings in Dan, and Dan brings in Tom, they all count towards Sam's leader numbers. They all count as a bonus qualified person. We'll talk about that in a second. And she gets 7% on all of them. Does that make sense? So that's pretty amazing, because on every $100, that adds up really fast. Like, it doesn't sound like it will, but it would. Now, why I also say that is that's the importance in making sure you guys create an environment that is very welcoming. And no matter who you invite into your business, they know the importance of blessing other people, because sometimes you can have a big gap where 2 or 3 people come in and they don't really do much with Wildtree, but all of a sudden that 7th or 8th generation person, they take off like wildfire, still blesses your business, where some income structures, it doesn't matter as much. This one's not like that. So, and that looks really weird because I'm looking at my screen to see your guys' faces with my cameras there. So anyway, but yeah, so that's huge. Okay, so that's like the biggest perk. I know Ashley is totally here for income. She needs to provide for her family this fall, and so this is huge for her, because 40% raise is already quite a bit more. So every $100 you sell is a $40 paycheck. It goes really fast as a team leader. And the fastest way to make money in the beginning, of course, is to have high personal sales and then to start sharing the opportunity quickly, because then that's just going to increase your wealth. But obviously there's a reason I still carry a great chunk of personal sales myself as well. It's still the easiest way to earn the fastest amount of money. Okay, then let me switch over here to my screen again. You get a gift when you promote from the home office. You get recognition at your next conference or big meeting that you attend, which is really fun. Every month you can earn mid-month business bucks by qualifying, and we're going to talk about qualifications in a second. You get special trainings. It's the most amazing feeling in the world to help others be successful. And basically, once you hit leadership status, you're treated like royalty because you've done it. You really did help other people see the vision, and it's a huge accomplishment. So lots of cool things. If you have a question, you're going to comment it in our group to save time, because otherwise we're going to run out of time tonight. Requirements to be a team leader. Does anybody know the requirements and want to go off mute and be brave and try to speak the requirements to be a team leader?
I do not.
Okay. Anybody?
Isn't one like 3,500 a month in sales, team sales?
Team
And
sales?
Then,
Yep.
and then team members have to be qualifying. And then there's, I thought, a personal sales qualification too, but I don't remember what it is.
Perfect. You nailed it. It's 3,500 as a team. 350 is the personal. So you, Danny, have to sell $350. Then Ashley needs to sell $350 and Sam needs to sell $350. That's how Sam can hit her team leader numbers. But then somewhere amongst all of you, somebody has to make up the difference of the 3,500. Now that could be 7 more people that are all selling, or that could be Sam doing the whole rest of the balance, or you doing the whole balance. But it's you plus 2 mindset. And I'll paste this in notes tonight with the recording of this call. You plus 2 mindset, 3,500 total. Anybody have a question on that? If you do, yell now, and I'll quickly go over it. It's pretty simple. It's go ahead.
Do you have to have 350 qualifying per month, or you have to be qualified for the quarter?
You have to have 350 a month to be a team leader. You personally.
Okay, got it.
And yep, and then your 2 teammates do every month, and your team always has to have 3,500 if you want to get paid as a leader. And it's always monthly. It's always the first of the month to the 30th or 31st. I did get asked last.
So
go ahead.
You and all of your recruits have to have 350, and it's somewhere along the line you have to make up to 3,500 per month.
Yeah. So the smarter way to do it is to have a larger team, because then even if people are putting in 100, 200, 500, it adds up very fast. But yes, you got it. As a group, 3,500, and you and 2 people have to at least do 350. Outside of that, there can be 20 that all put in some sales, or just you 3. It doesn't matter how many outside of you plus 2. So it's you, 2 people, everybody does $350, and then somewhere amongst you guys, you have to get to 3,500. Typically what I see in the beginning is about 1,500 to 2,000 is the leader, and then the rest is made up by team members. That's just kind of what I see typically. But I also have team leaders that do about 500 a month, and their team does all the rest. Everybody's different. Obviously, I alone sell my team leader numbers almost every month, but then I still always need the 2 people to put in 350. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, no question. Now, it sounds more complicated and scary than it truly is, so don't worry so much about it. But why do I tell you? So that you see the vision now that you can't be in Wildtree and make big bucks if you're not going to do some events yourself. You have to have some personal sales, and you also want to share the opportunity, because it gets a whole lot easier when you have people helping you. And you can ask any of our current leaders, they're going to tell you they wish they all sold 7,000 a month personal sales. Who doesn't want that? That paycheck's amazing just on personal sales. But that's hard to do if you're working a full-time job and other things. So it's better to share it. And you alone, Brooke or Danny or Tabitha or Ashley, you're not going to have to do all that training yourself. You know you're supported. You got a director on this call that will do the orientation and walk that new recruit through training. So that part of it, don't let it scare you. Just get in the mindset that you have to be open to sharing and blessing others with this. And then that's going to be the fastest way to get to team leader numbers, basically. In the beginning, my trick was just doing about 1,500 to 2,000. That was my norm in sales. And then I always was adding a recruit a month. I didn't start adding the kinds of recruits that I am now until about a year ago. And literally nothing changed. I think I just got more savvy with it, I guess, or more intentional with it. And I just pay more attention now. I really listen to people. I think that's the only difference. I never used to listen for the right conversations. And now at my parties, we'll be workshopping and I'll hear somebody, complaining about their job. And I can literally tell they hate their job. And I'll say like things like, well, would you want to check this out? And of course they're like, no. I'm like, okay, you're lying. I'll totally send you home with my information. And I think they think I'm funny and a little bit crazy and a little bit edgy. And so I just would tell you to find your niche, find what makes you you. People will like you. They don't want you to be Kayla. They don't want you to be Jess Schultz. They don't want you to be Sam. They want you to be you, and people will like that and people will want to join you. So that's the requirements and the blessings of leadership. If there's no questions on that, I want to take our last couple minutes here. And I want you guys, so again, homework number 1, really start to figure out that true vision, like getting it, what you're towards, and watch the prosperity of it. Number 2, get freaking excited about the pay raise and all the awesome stuff that comes. And then number 3, 1 more week is going to stay very focused on our calendars and what our summer is looking like. So what are your calendars looking like right now, or what objections or things are you hearing that I can help you with during our last couple minutes? Who needs help specifically? Go ahead, Jenny.
I have, she's actually one of my friends, and she was really interested in the workshop at my sister's party. And then we had set a date, and then she was going out of town that weekend. So we changed it, and then haven't been able to nail down another date for the summer. So I'm not sure like how, I know I talked to you and said it at one point, because I ended up following up with her again. She's like, yeah, I'm still interested. But that's kind of as far as it's gone. So I don't want to push too far with her, but I also am not sure how to go about it, because she did seem interested, but I'm not sure how to get her on a date.
Great point. So many of us spend way too much time in the back and forth, or booking leads or recruit leads. I would tell you, a recruit lead, you should be checking in with them until you get to a point where you're like, okay, so here's the deal. I don't want to push this business on you. I want you to tell me when you're ready. So I'm going to leave you in our Discover Wildtree group, and every other week we have posts go off. At some point in your heart, you're going to know it's time, or you're going to know it's not. Just let me know when you know either way. That's a great way to end that, because you can't chase people. It's not worth it. None of you were chased. Okay. So like, maybe Sam does chase a little. No, I'm just kidding. Don't tell her I said that. I totally give her a hard time. She doesn't see these, so I can talk about her. I love Sam. She's my funniest leader because she hates asking. She feels like she's being annoying. And I don't think all of us feel that way. I don't feel that way, but she specifically hates asking for people to join the business. She feels like she's a bother. And I constantly have to remind her like that. That's her only thing holding her back from huge success. Pretty successful is she's literally just feeling like she's bugging people. So Danny, if you're thinking okay, that's good to know. So I will tell you, talk to Sam. She's going to tell you that she hates it. She's working on it and she's getting over it, because it's the only thing preventing her. She would love to be a director with Wildtree. She doesn't tell a lot of people that, and she has the ability. She knows how to sell. She knows how to book. She knows how to balance this around her family. She literally doesn't like to make people feel in the recruiting department like they're having to join us or something. I don't know. I hang out with Sam too much that I just want to punch her in the head sometimes, because to me, this is like, Sam, we play on the playground every day. Like, do I make you feel like you have to work Wildtree? But the point is, she's very aware of it, and that's great, because she's really seeing, holy cow, I could be exploding if I just got out of my head. And I think now she's back in the groove again. She's in the last 3 months has really come a long way. Why I share that with you is, if you're feeling that way, Danny, about this booking, then you're naturally just going to come across more that way. So all of you right now, leave this call, because we're going to get cut off in 60 seconds. Leave this call with the attitude for the next week. You're going to go back to everybody on the fence, and you're either going to get a yes, a no, or if they're a maybe, you're going to know why they're a maybe. Their dad just passed away, or they didn't know really what the workshop was and they got scared, or they're afraid nobody will come. Go and get all of those maybes done. all of you should be doing like some mass messaging if you can, because all of you are telling me you want leadership this summer. Get all that shit out of the way. Get to where you feel like you're caught up and you're really trying to meet new people, not where you're still like, oh, I've got 72 people on my list yet that I could reach out to, but they keep telling me like, maybe I'll have a party, maybe I won't. Just find out. Find out, Danny, what's holding her back. Say, hey, I'm following up again